already washed my face and I applied my everyday moisturizer, and now what I'm gonna do is I will be spraying little bit of matte prep and prime on my face. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna hydrate my face, and I'm gonna let it dry. So beside giving hydration, what it does is also smoothens your texture. Whatever the foundation you will be putting on, the application will be really easy for you. I just gave a minute for it to set on my face. When it's completely dry, what you can do is next is prime your face. Now I am oily to combination skin. I have oily on my T-zone and I have open pores. So the best that works for me is Benefit Professional, which is right here, and I'm dry on my other part of my face. So you can definitely use more than one primer. So what I'm gonna do is I will be putting Benefit Professional on my T-zone, and on rest of my face I will be putting MAC Prep and Prime, which is like for normal skin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit on back of my hand. I will be putting on my T-zone. Will be putting a little bit on my pores. If you want, you can also use a brush for the application. Well, I'm using my hands just to make sure that I'm really putting this product smoothly everywhere and that is seeping into my skin. A little bit on my elbows. Whatever is left over, I will put on my chin area, around my mouth. And now I will be taking this MAC Prep and Prime for rest of my face. Just one pump is enough. Just little by little, spread everywhere. What is left over, again I will be spreading through all over my neck. So now that we are done with prepping our skin, we can start with the foundation. My most favorite foundation is Hello Flawless by Benefit. But what I'm gonna do is I will be using Benefit Hello Flawless foundation on back of my hand, like one pump, and I'm using a Morphe brush, which is a Morphe M427 right here. So I will be taking little product little by little, and now I will be applying and blending at the same time. And as you see that what I'm doing is I'm dabbing, like I'm not swirling. What happens when you're swirling, you might not putting product, you are like removing the product. So dabbing is actually putting, like pressing in, and you are like pressing into your pores. It helps to cover the pores better. So try to dab, always dab in your product into your skin. That will definitely give you a flawless finish. Going under my eyes, taking little by little, dabbing in. I will be doing this side first to let you see the coverage itself. And make sure you are covering your ear. This part, it's very important that you're covering your ear because we don't want it to look different from your face. We want everything to look same, one color. So it's very important to make sure that you're covering your ear and your neck. Going on my forehead. Like as you see, I have some acne going on right now, and this itself is going to give me a very good coverage. I don't need to cover it separately. You can definitely do that if you want, but this itself worked for me, so I don't have to cover that separately. Again, dabbing motion, not swirling. Going in my inner corners of my eyes. Not forgetting my jawline. And taking the product to my neck. We want to cover the neck too, so that it doesn't look separate different from your face. So now you can see itself the coverage it's giving to me. Right here, I have not applied any foundation, and right on this part, I have applied the foundation, and the foundation itself has given me the full coverage. So now what I will do is I will further put the foundation on this part of my face. I'm pressing into my skin, making sure that I'm covering all my open pores so that I don't have any visible pores. And always use little product so that you are not putting too much product at the same time, and then you realize that you don't need that much product. So make sure you are using little product. Whenever you are trying to figure out what is your perfect foundation shade, what you do is you try to find the shade which is closer to your body, that is like your neck and your jawline. It has to be close to your rest of your body color so that it doesn't look separate and it looks pretty your own color. Make sure you have blend in properly. Just going over everything once again and making sure I have blend in my foundation. If you want, you can also further go with a beauty blender like this. You can go in with the beauty blender and again further you can blend in like this. So if you have any excess product, what is it gonna do is the beauty blender is gonna take your excess product and also help you further to blend in. This is how you apply your foundation, and it was very simple. You can use brush or you can use a beauty blender. You can also use your own fingers if you're comfortable with that. And now after foundation, what you do next is your concealer. I will be using concealer under my eyes, and also I will be using the same concealer to highlight. The product I will be using for concealing and highlighting is MAC Pro Longwear Concealer right here. It's really full coverage. So, and at the same time, if you have dark circles, if you have any pigmentation around your mouth, and if you have any acne or blemishes, this will do the job for you. You don't have to use a separate correctors. So the one I'm using right now is a MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC42. Again, what I will do is I will put a little bit product on the back of my hand like this, like a pump. For concealer, the brush I'm using is MAC right here. It's a dual fiber concealer brush, and I will be putting under my eyes. not forgetting the inner C's. So we generally have some darkness right here, so we have to make sure that we are covering this inner C. Go close to your lower lash line. Make sure you're covering the whole thing. And I'm blending as I'm applying, as you see. Now I will also put a little bit of this concealer on the corner of my nose, where we always have a little bit of redness and discoloration, and on my upwards. So if you have any pigmentation, using concealer around your mouth is gonna help cover the pigmentation for you. Take a little product and put it around your apple, wherever you have the pigmentation. And as you see, as I'm applying, I'm blending in so that I have a flawless blend. I'll do the same thing on my other side under my eyes. And again, I'm using dabbing motion. I'm trying to push the product into the skin. I'm not swirling or I'm not jabbing. And be very gentle with your pressure. And I'll use the same product for highlighting my nose, my T-zone. Gently dabbing into my skin. Now going on, I'm just gonna highlight in the middle of my forehead, which is right here. And it's like, as I'm applying, I'm blending in so that I don't have to spend separate time for putting the product and then blending in. I'm blending as I'm applying. Since I have a large forehead, I highlight less and I contour more. That way I can have a smaller forehead look in pictures. So I would be not highlighting too much. But if you have small forehead, you can highlight more and contour less. So I will again use the beauty blender and I will just blend in with my foundation so that my concealer, my highlighting doesn't look separate from my foundation. I will blend in the edges. And at the same time, if you have any excess product, this beauty blender will be taking away all your excess product. So this is how it looks after putting your foundation and concealer. As you see, this is the final look of foundation and concealer. So if you're just looking for a coverage of foundation and concealer, you're good to go. All you need to do is set your concealer, set your face, your foundation with the powder, and you're completed with your foundation routine. So what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna set my concealer so that it doesn't crease throughout the day. I will be using Laura Mercier translucent powder, which is right here. Yeah, it's a loose setting powder. What I'm gonna do is I will take a little bit in a lid right here, and I will be using a beauty blender for the application, which is right here. It's just a beauty blender, which is like a smaller size, very appropriate for your under eyes. So what I'm gonna do is I will take the powder and I'm gonna bake. Basically, baking is something like it locks your concealer for rest of your day. Like if you have super dry under eyes, I would not suggest you to bake your under eye concealer. What you can do is you can apply the powder with the brush like this, take a little bit and just dab it and you're good to go. you have done the job of setting your concealer, liquid concealer. But what I'm gonna do is I like to make sure that my concealer lasts for hours, like whole day, and it doesn't budge, it doesn't crease. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically bake. I will take powder right on my beauty blender like this, and it's a lot of amount, like too much product. I don't want to set my creases, so I will make sure that there are no creases before I set it with powder. Then I will go in with the powder and I will just dab in. Trying to put a little bit here in my corners of my nose. Basically, I'm putting it wherever I want to highlight, like that. Yeah, I know it's too much, but this is something that's gonna help us to make sure that our concealer doesn't smudge. So I will do the same thing on the other side of my eyes. I will leave this for say 5 minutes or 10 minutes depending on how much you want to bake. So I will leave it for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And now what I'm gonna do is I will be putting powder on the rest of my face with this brush, which is Sigma small contour brush. It's tighter, so I want the maximum amount of product on my face. I don't want a sheer layer of powder. I want maximum. I want to get the maximum coverage. So that's why I'm using a denser brush like this, which is right here. And I will be using again the same product, like the same brand, which is Benefit Hello Flawless, right here. It's full coverage right here. So what I'm gonna do is I will take the product like this, and I will be just dabbing everywhere. Basically, I'm just putting the product everywhere where I have foundation. At the same time, as you see, I'm just pushing in the product. I'm not swirling, because if I do that, I will be disturbing my application of foundation. Putting on my jawline, and not forgetting your neck. And also I will be putting the same product on my nose. I'm trying to set my nose, the concealer that I put over my nose. I'll be setting with the same product, just gently a little bit, dabbing. Now that we are done with our setting our foundation and concealer, the next thing I will do is I'm not gonna do the hard contour. What I'm gonna do is just bronzing. So I will be showing you how to bronze your face. Basically, if you don't want to get into bronzing or highlighting and contouring, this is it you need to do. You can just set your concealer with the powder and set your foundation with the powder, and you're good to go, and put some blush and you're done with your basic simple foundation routine. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make your face look three-dimensional, like it will give you some definition. So what I'm gonna do is I will be using MAC Give Me Sun bronzing powder, which is right here. I will be using the same kind of a brush, which is like this. It's same as like the brush that we use to set our foundation. It's MAC 109. I will take the product just like that, and I will start from the top of my ear right here, making the angle toward the corner of my mouth. Taking the product on the bristle of my brush, and I will be going in a circular motion very gently. I don't want to disturb my foundation. The maximum product deposit should be right here, and as you go further it should blend in, and then as I go toward the corner of my mouth I will just fade into my foundation. I will bronze a little bit my temple, my forehead. I will be dabbing in. I do the same thing right here. The best way, if you are not sure where does the bronzing goes, the contouring goes, you can just make this fish kind of a face like this. And if you see, like when you make that face and you see the bone, so it goes basically under the cheekbone right here. Bronze around the forehead, and again I'm dabbing it, the product, and I will be using the same product on my jawline. Make sure you're blending so that you don't see the line. Again, it will give a definition to your jawline and pictures. I will be contouring my nose, MAC 224 right here, and I will be using a little bit on the tip of my brush and gently go straight back and forth, like just like that, very gently. And as I said, don't take too much product at first, just build as you need and try to connect with your eyes, like right under your brow. Do the same thing, trying to go straight. Will give you instant look of thin nose. Try to connect this part so that it doesn't look too long. I'll put a little bit like in my cupid bows to get that depth in my cupid bow under my lid for that fuller look. Now after this is done, what I'm gonna do is I will remove the baking, the powder, with this big brush. This is Sigma Tapered Face F25 right here. And I will just remove all the powder very gently, just like that. So now what I'm gonna do is I will set my highlight on bridge of my nose with this Kat Von D banana powder, which is like, it's a pan. Basically I have a pan of this powder. It's a yellow banana powder. I'll be taking this powder on this, it's basically again eyeshadow brush, which is like MAC, oh my god, it's 239 if I'm not wrong, because it's completely gone. It's a eyeshadow brush just like this. So I will be taking this yellow powder, setting my highlight on the bridge of my nose just like this. Try to go straight. Just like this. Whatever excess powder you have, just fluff it off with this brush that we used before. I will be putting this banana powder under my eye, and I will be putting it on my, like, the center of my forehead, little bit on my chin to further highlight. So I'll be taking this brush is Dose of Color, taking the product on this brush just like this, and I will be putting it under my eyes just like so in a dabbing motion. And I will put little bit on the side of my nose. It will further make your nose like slim. The appearance of your nose will be slim by putting this powder right here. I'll take a little bit more, put like right here on my upper lips, little bit on my chin. Just fluff it up like that. And then on my forehead, just in a dabbing motion. Again, I have a bigger forehead, as I mentioned before, so I wouldn't highlight more. I will just highlight a little bit and contour more for the look of smaller forehead. Just like so. I'll do the same thing on this side. Now what we will do is we will try to blend in our highlight and contour with our own foundation powder, which is the one I used previously, which is a Hello Flawless, Benefit Hello Flawless, and I forgot to mention my shade. The one I'm using is beige, right there. I will use the brush that I used before. I will be using this product, like I'll take product on my brush and I will try to put this in between my highlight and contour so that it looks blended. So right in between, right here, I'll bring it a little bit right here, so it instantly blends in your contour with your highlight. Right there. And I go back and forth with my same banana powder brush to make sure that I'm not losing my highlight. Just so. Between my contour and my highlight right here, just gently dabbing in, just blending in that line with my own foundation powder to make my contour look a little sharp. I'm going in with my own foundation powder. So now that we are done with our foundation, concealer, and we did highlighting, contouring, now it's time to do blush. I'm gonna go in with the blush, which is right here. It's Milani Powder Blush in Coral Cove, right here. This one. Take this blush right here, tap the excess, and I will smile and I will put that right here, right between my highlight and contour. Take this Fix Plus that we used previously I will be spraying this all over my face. What it will do is it will help in setting the whole face. Whatever we did, the foundation, concealer, blush, everything, it's gonna look flawless. So I will be spraying it all over my face and let it dry. Right when it's not completely dry, but like right in between, when it's a little bit wet and little dry, that's when I will go in with my highlight. So for highlighting, I will be using a backup product, which is right here. It's Champagne Pop. It's like a gold bronzy color, just like here. How intense is that? Right here. So what I'm gonna do, I will be taking this on a fan brush like this. This is again a fan brush from Dose of Color. I will be taking this product, dusting off the excess right on my cheekbone. Just right here on my cheekbone, I will be putting this highlight to see how intense is that. It looks so good. You can put a little bit on the top of your, like right here on your brow. Little bit. Putting on my, like the top of the bone on my cheek, the cheekbone, the top cheekbone. With the same brush, I will be putting on the bridge of my nose. Right here. Making a T right here. And with the fluffy brush, again, I will be just dusting off the excess. You can put a little bit on your chin. If you don't have super oily skin, you can definitely put a little bit on your chin, cupid bow. So here we finally done with our full face foundation. This is how I basically do my foundation, highlighting and contouring, and that's how it looks 3-dimension, and it looks amazing in photographs.